My name is Michael Zach, and this is a Press Start to Begin podcast. Hello there, this is Michael Zach.
And this is Jennifer Munoz.
And we are writers with the blog site Press Start to Begin. Today, we're going to be talking about E3 and the results of the convention. We'll be talking about Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. What we're going to be doing is sharing our thoughts and perspectives and hopefully give everyone something to consider with the results. So, Jennifer, ready to begin?
Ready.
Alright. I'm going to start off by talking about Nintendo. It didn't seem like to me Nintendo did a lot. I was really hoping to see them introduce some new sort of hardware, something to just get people really excited about it. I mean, they did talk about some pretty cool games. Like, you had Smash Brothers, which looked pretty cool. They talked about other games, like a new, Mario Kart. It seemed kind of gimmicky to me, like nothing really new there except that, look, you're gonna have flying cars, look at them, defy gravity. That's all they did was talk about games, and, well, I wanted more. I wanted something which would actually make me stop and just think, maybe I should get a Wii U. That would be kind of cool, but I just didn't get that. But, well, maybe I held out way too much hope for that. Well, Jennifer, what was your thoughts on Sony? I mean, Nintendo was just disappointing. What did you think of Sony?
Well, first off, I want to mention that, Sony came out the big winner of the whole conference, and as everyone was hoping they would be, with their policy on used games, trade-ins. You don't have to be connected all the time in order to play your games. And to be honest, they didn't have to really say anything after that, which was kind of interesting. I do remember them mentioning, as far as their games go, I remember seeing, Dark Souls, and they were showing all the how large the graphic, or how better the graphics would be this time around. I don't think they got really that well into hardware as Microsoft did, because they had basically two conferences talking about the Xbox One, whereas Sony spoke very little about their new console, which was kind of a disappointment. I wanted to know what we would be playing with when we got it on our hands, but all in all, I think Sony did a moderate job, but when it came into calming the fears of their customers.
Mm-hmm. What about the games? Were there any games that they talked about that really caught your eye?
One that really caught my eyes, and it's because I've been a fan for so long, was Kingdom Hearts 3. I am so behind with the series, I should say that now, that I was actually really excited because I had really forgotten about that game. It had been a long time since I actually played Kingdom Hearts. So, when the title screen came up and you hear that music, I actually, I got really excited. I squealed like a little schoolgirl with happiness, and one of my biggest wishes is I hope they did release past games of Kingdom Hearts, because I really need to catch up. I really want to play that game, so I really got excited for that game. Now we're talking
about the clusterfuck known as Microsoft. Jennifer, what the hell do you think they were thinking?
I honestly could not tell you. I remember watching the conference and shaking my head practically throughout the whole thing. I was speechless. I was utterly speechless. I could not fathom what they were thinking. I was trying to find some kind of sense in what they were trying to tell me. You could be able to do this, you could be able to do that, but you have to do this, and you gotta do that. I was trying to put all of them together and thinking, okay, I can deal with that. Never happened.
Yeah. It's like, I could appreciate some of the stuff they were trying to do, like with the smack talk, which was clearly staged to do with Killer Instinct. I get they were trying to say that, hey, look, we're still cool, we're still relevant, look at us, we're doing smack talk like we normally do, but it came off not only so fake, but kind of uncomfortable. I think people should get fired for that kind of stuff, but, I mean, not only that, but the way that they responded to the DRM controversy, I'll confess I'm disappointed with that as well, because I expected better from them. You had the Xbox and Xbox 360 were both exceptional consoles. You could buy and sell games, use games, whatever, but it seems like they're making this giant change, and they don't seem to understand how much that will impact the gaming community.
I like to think of the gaming community as goldfish. And by that I mean, Yes, when you change the water of a goldfish, you're actually supposed to put them in a bag with the water in it, change the water, put them back in the bowl with the fresh water, but with the old water still in the bag. Let him get acclimatized to his new environment. Otherwise, the fish goes into shock and die.
Jesus, I didn't know about that one. Oh, well, okay, we're a bunch of goldfish. I like that.
I didn't know about that, and it explains a lot in childhood pets.
Yeah.
Like, aw, Snoopy. That explains that one tragic morning.
That's horrible. I shouldn't be laughing, but that's funny. Yeah.
But all jokes aside, gamers don't do well with change, especially a sudden change as the one Microsoft is trying to convey to us.
You know what the sad
part is? A lot of
is?
people are like,
I don't think it's really that much of a change. I mean, I was thinking about it. We don't own our Windows operating system software. We don't own most of the software that's on our computers. What they're doing is just a logical progression of what's already been done. I didn't take a look at the user end agreements for most of like the games on my computer or for the various video game systems, but I'm willing to make a bet all of them mention things about licensing rather than ownership. I'll bet you on that one. So, in a way, what Microsoft's doing is just being honest and just saying blatantly, hey, guess what? You don't own this. Guess what? You never did own it. Surprise! So, I find what they are doing, or at least refreshingly honest. Because, a lot of people act like they actually own the games, when in reality, they don't. At best, they own the disc, not the game. So, I appreciate their honesty. I don't like it, but I appreciate it.
I think what Microsoft has to do, because personally I don't think they're going to survive this coming sales season. I really don't, unless they do something aggressive to either change the Xbox One or reassure the public, because they're in major damage control right now. I'm optimistic. That's one thing I am. I'm a hopeless optimistic person. I'm optimistic we'll at least do something, anything.
I'm sure they will.
Win back their customers because they desperately need it right now. I don't know. It's really high stakes for that company right now. So all right now is walking on sunshine, and all I hope is Microsoft is that they at least take a really, really, really hard look at their customers' concerns, because they've been screaming it since the press conference, and they do something to reiterate that.
That's a great point, Jennifer. I'm definitely hoping they're going to be able to do something to at least recover, because we're not going to have much of a console war unless they do.
No, I mean, the thing is that I'm on their side. I'm really hoping the best for them, but not what they have at the moment.
Amen there, sister. Amen. Well, thank you very much for listening to our podcast, as well as our rambling thoughts. Hopefully we made a little bit of sense and, put together a coherent thought or two. I know I sure rambled. But this is Michael Zach.
And this is Jennifer Munoz. And thank you for listening to the Press Start Again podcast.
All right. Have a great day.